Staper, and welcome back to Everlasting Summer. Let's just jump into this game because I have work soon. This is going to be a quicker video today. It was the last lesson of the hardest subject this term. Most students didn't like it because of its difficulty and the hard to understand teacher, I suppose. But I found a kind of pleasure in dealing with tables, graphs, and diagrams. Counting the figures by pieces, I arranged them in columns and lines in the right order, summing up, subtracting, dividing, and multiplying, and using them to get a precise picture of any event. No number could avoid my attentive gaze. All of them would be captured, calculated, analyzed. Each of them would get an index number and a place in their proper cell. After its arrival, every digit will be assigned a bunk, work uniform, and off-duty clothes, and will be sent to perform its designated task. Some will be digging a trench from 9 to 5, some will march off to face the trends, and some will be trying to hit a linear regression on the shooting range. What are you thinking about? Reluctantly, I stopped writing and gazed at my classmate. Taking notes on the lecture, as you can see. Oh, just screw it. Just read the workbook afterwards. I'll read the workbook as well. I'm always astonished by you. What's so astonishing? You're planning to gain a first-class diploma, aren't you? Never thought of it. Don't tell me you really find it interesting. Remembered that just a moment ago I'd imagined myself emblazoned on a band, or borne aloft by a regiment of digits, and couldn't help smiling. You won't even need all this stuff. Everything will be needed, at least for general development. The classmate grinned sarcastically. I bet you never read even a single book in your whole life. So what? He asked challengingly. Just stating a fact. And you are always somewhere up in the clouds. He was right about that. Although I had regained part of my lost social skills, I often slipped out of touch with reality, dreaming of something else. You say it like it's a bad thing. And there's nothing wrong with not reading books either. Human beings can't have only material needs, I said philosophically, mocking him. Oh, you're such a downer. Yawn. What the fuck? The lecture was approaching its end, and I began to plan out the rest of the day. Need to buy some groceries and later finish a project and send it to the client. And then I got to write down notes. And then in the evening I can just read or watch something. Unless someone phones or writes to me, there are no urgent matters, so I can spare some time for my mates. Oh, 5 whole minutes to go. I looked at my phone and realized that it is exactly a year after I returned from the Soviet pioneer camp. My soul felt warmer from such thoughts, and I smiled blissfully. It's not often anymore that I recall those events. Obviously, one can't just forget something like that. Those moments of something bizarre and extraordinary that are engraved in my memory forever. Normally, even the happiest moments fade and just reminiscences of them remain, nothing more. But the week spent in Soviet was different. I remembered everything in perfect detail, the terror of the first minutes after waking up in the bus, the first day, hard, full of surprises and amazing acquaintances, cheerful and carefree pranks with Ulyana. Just take that trick with the ghosts, for instance. The best Soviet comedians would envy it. And the pioneers had such expressions. They were dying laughing. It sure would be nice to meet Ulyana in real life. Well, she is not always perfect. She's hyperactive and she doesn't have any idea about good manners, but one doesn't meet such a sincere, carelessly cheerful and energetic person very often. Maybe she gave some of that energy to me. The bell rang, my classmate stood up and said his goodbyes and left. I started packing my exercise books and textbooks into my backpack when I suddenly heard someone's voice in front of me. Oh my god, is this gonna be Ulyana? It's gonna be Ulyana, isn't it? I'm just gonna give her the voice in case it is, because you can't see it right now.
Excuse me, is this the 34th lecture hall?
There's a sign on the door.
No, there's not.
The girl's voice sounded off. The girl's voice sounded offended. Someone must have removed it.
So is it the 34th?
Yeah. At last I closed the backpack and raised my head, intending to stand up. Oh my god, it is Uliana. I was right. Although giving her that voice is kind of weird because she doesn't look like a child anymore. The girl looked terribly familiar. Haven't we?
Yes, I thought the same.
She looked very surprised. I don't remember where I could have met you. Maybe I should give her a different voice because this Uliana voice. No, she's an adult. So it's kind of weird.
Neither do I.
Shh. What year are you in?
First year.
Oh, still pretty much green. The girl smiled.
Everything is still ahead of me.
As if I'm already past everything.
Well, what about you?
Fourth.
So, is it difficult to study?
For the first year it is.
I knew it.
She said in an upset manner. But it gets easier with time. It's always easier when you get used to it. Maybe I should take a screenshot of this. I don't know. Oh, that's not the right button. That wasn't the right button. That wasn't the right button. No, 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 no. Oh my god. Just let me do. Oops. There we go. Okay, there we go.
Sometimes I'm too lazy to do things.
Yeah, that also happens.
Do you still have any stuff from the first year? If you share it, it'll be easier for me to prepare for examinations.
Obviously, I had nothing. My first year was finished a long time ago. But I suddenly felt a strong desire to ask for her phone number, so I lied. Yes, maybe. But I'll have to check.
That's great.
We exchanged our telephone numbers. Ooh. My name is Semyon. What should I call you?
Uliana.
And then I realized who this girl reminded me of. Exactly, she's Uliana, just around 5 years older. For a moment, I was lost for words.
What? It's an ordinary name. That was Lennon's name.
She said, pouting. No, just... Have you ever been to a pioneer camp?
When I was a kid. Why are you asking?
In the blink of an eye, all the events that happened in Sovianok flashed in front of my eyes. So it wasn't a dream.
Although they were just summer camps, not pioneer ones.
Uliana added. So you weren't wearing a uniform?
The one with the red neckerchief? Of course not. Fashion police alert.
She laughed loudly.
But why are you asking?
I was about to tell her everything, but then realized that she will just consider me a psycho. After all, this girl was much older than the Uliana I remembered. Maybe she just looks like her. I had a dream, and I think I saw you there. Kind of deja vu.
Deja what?
It's when one sees something for the first time, but believes that he has seen it before.
Well, now that you mention it,
Her face became serious.
I think I've seen you somewhere as well. Definitely. Maybe it's that thing you just said.
An interesting coincidence, don't you think?
I don't know. Anyway, I'll give you a call. See ya.
She laughed and ran out of the room. Appearance, behavior, way of talking, she's definitely that exact Uliana. So does that mean the dream is coming true? I can't help but enjoy it. And above all, I'll see this forever cheerful girl again for sure. Yay! That was not the ending I was expecting, but I'm not unsatisfied with it. Achievement unlocked. Attack on Petal Bear. Attack on Petal Bear. Uliana, good end. Woo! Attack on Petal Bear. Jesus Christ. Alright, I'm gonna have the credits, and then next episode will be her bad ending, and then yeah. Oh God. So yeah, it's a pretty good ending. Pretty good, and we're making it 10 minutes. That's pretty good. Is there any way I can skip this credit sequence? Probably. Probably. No, I can't. Never mind. I lied. One thing that weirds me out is that she's a lot tanner in like the CG, but then her older self is like not as tan, and then her hair is not red, but like orange red. Exactly, see, orange red. What the hell? I like how she hasn't changed her hairstyle at all after like the several years though. Well, except the bangs. She changed her bangs, but that's about it. I think it's that because we know it's her. But, anyway, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Everlasting Summer and would like to see the bad ending, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!